Welcome back, my friends and compadres. This is Panlee, and today we're going to do a little drawing, a little illustration of Sonic the Hedgehog. This is kind of like my little rendition with a little bit of my style thrown in there. It got pretty good attention within some of the art groups that I'm within, so I thought that is a perfect opportunity to share it with the rest of you. Show a little bit of the process, and then also ultimately talk about how awesome the Sonic 2 movie was. I am so pleased, personally, with the direction that they are taking Sonic, which I think ultimately is a really solid direction for most of the general public. I know that the Sonic fan base themselves they're like really protective over whatever Sonic is their favorite Sonic. I know there's like a big divide between the classic Sonic fans versus essentially the adventure Sonic fans. And messing with that design just angers them beyond reasoning. Sonic Boom's design was not very taken well, and so I'm actually very flattered with the fact that this redesign of mine was very well received. As far as everything that I've interacted with, I might find some other people here on YouTube that'll come across it and be like, "Why'd you give him a jacket?" And I'll be like, "Just because it's cool." And so it'll just slap those negative comments in the face with some good old positivity. And with staying in the realms of good old positivity, there is also a group of people within that Sonic the Hedgehog community that I can see that is searching for a new style. I think it's really cool. I've watched a couple of videos of different people making new renditions of Sonic, and I think that the fans have a pretty good scope of what they want to see and making some really solid stuff. Like, even the point, I saw one design that's literally just kind of shortening the quills and then making some of the quills kind of stray off as like little stray hairs, like you'd see in some of the animes, like Gurren Lagann and stuff. They'll have like a little stray hair kind of just sticking out from the big old blocks, and it just gives this element that there's more than just the block of hair. So Sonic's quills are kind of collected, but then there's one that strays, gives them a little character, a little personality to it, a little wonkiness. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing here with mine, is giving a little wonkness to the style, giving my cubey, or round cube, I guess, shape language into the Sonic rubber hose style, and pulling out just the jacket from this, I don't know, ski, it's like a short sleeve ski puff vest jacket or something, and I think it works. I think it gives a character personality trait to him that it keeps that cool swag that he has always going. But you can't forget the shoes either. The shoes are probably the most iconic thing, aside from the three quills that on the profile picture of Sonic that you got going on. And so with mine, I pulled from the soap shoes of Adventure 2 and gave the little grinding little plate that's on the bottom. That's what the little highlighter green thing is. It's supposed to be like either a metal or plastic or wax plate. He can just go grinding the rails, even though he's here in the Green Hills where there's no rails. I just think those shoes were iconic, at least to my generation of Sonic fans. And then I added the iconic strap across the top that goes with most of his red shoes. The thing that I think is really odd or different about the shoes with me is the sock area is like this little clip, kind of like a collar clip to, I don't know, maybe a dress shirt or something. And it just, I thought it was a interesting little shape language going on, an interesting design, and it works. It puts a little bit of fancy in there. Another thing that you might kind of notice here is on his quills, they're pointed up, which is more of a trademark of Shadow the Hedgehog. However, this is obviously Sonic because he's blue. I'm putting him upwards in the sense that his quills are flying up from his speed, and maybe even from the fact that he's been spinning and now he's like popped out of that little spin ball that he's in, and his quills kind of swing forward with the momentum, and I think it gives a good character flow. Something I've really liked when I look at some of the little comic illustrations, especially with those covers. The covers are really cool when they give his quills kind of a side swipe from where he's like slid and stopped, but the quills haven't. They have that little momentum movement. I think that's something really, really rad within the Sonic modern art area. So talking about the movie a little bit more, Sonic 2 that is, and I'm going to do my best not to have any spoilers in this. Everyone obviously knows that Tails and Sonic, or Tails and Knuckles are within this movie, and so I think I can freely talk about them. One of the things I really enjoyed is the fact that they went back to classic Knuckles kind of look. They didn't have the big goofy bulked up guy, and I like that even though he's very ignorant, that was iconic of the first time that you see Knuckles introduced, that he was tricked by Robotnik. He's still intelligent within his world, and that's something I think that the most recent Knuckles have just making him this big lughead, kind of like a comic relief, which he was always more of the serious character in a sense. He was more of he added more to the Sonic video game area of the fact that he could break through bricks. He was more serious, he was more dangerous. And so I really enjoy that they kept that aspect of him within this. They've kept everything more kind of the classic Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles overall within this new movie that they're being able to put out into essentially mainstream, outside of the video game world, outside of the comic book world. And I think that's going to be ultimately what pulls people in, just like it pulled people in the first time. And we can't talk about the Sonic movies without mentioning Jim Carrey's Robotnik. I honestly think that he's done a killer Robotnik. The egotistical, like, factors about him is just perfect, because Robotnik is the icon villain, the mad scientist that just can't let people idly go by without knowing that his presence is there and ominous and looming over everyone. And that's exactly what Jim Carrey gives. He has just such this ego trip character being displayed that he sees everyone beneath him, and it doesn't matter if they know his plans or not. He's going to have victory. That's the mentality of Robotnik. And the only one that ever like gets in his way is Sonic, and that's why he hates him so much. And so I love the fact that that's exactly how Jim Carrey has played out Robotnik, and the fact that now he's bald and he's got the mustache just completes it. The only thing that would make it a little better is just making him round like Eggman, which and you can go into the Robotnik versus Eggman debate too, and that's a whole other controversy among the fan base. But I honestly just kind of fall within the adventure crowd again, that Eggman is the grandson of the original Robotnik, and maybe that's where they'll go with these movies. No clue. It'll be fun to see what they do. And with Jim Carrey getting up there in his years, don't know if he's going to continue doing Robotnik. If he stops then what's going to happen to the Sonic franchise? Obviously, they got something that's going really well. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. And a little bit more on how it goes. What about the video games? Where are they at? It seems like they've kind of had a dark era of video games ever since. So a lot of people would say, I guess, the Werehog was the last like good game, but is it really a good game in the sense of it being a Sonic game, or is it that it's gimmicky? I kind of lean towards the gimmick stuff. I think Adventure was really the last really good game. Heroes kind of shot me down. Forces was kind of cool because you could build a character and be in the universe, but then when it came to the gameplay, it didn't provide much more. And then the multiplayer aspect of it was just like borrowing each other's avatar or kind of helping each other with missions, quote unquote. I think that they could do better on the multiplayer. I think Adventure had the best multiplayer aspects. What would be really interesting is putting it into the realm of like a tag battle, like something that's really like speedy fast that you have to like catch the other person and then tag them in some way. I guess kind of like how Mario Kart did their battle stuff, but do it with like Sonic mechanics. That's just my kind of 2 cents in that area. But yeah, as I'm wrapping up this picture here, this illustration, as you can see, he's doing his little spin ball and then bloop, pops open for the little high. I think I throw in a ring flying around his fingers. Just something I always thought was kind of cool. The fact that he's grabbing these rings, something he could be, animation in the games would be cool of him like swinging around his fingers right before he puts it in his pocket. So as I start kind of wrapping things up here, I just want to kind of conclude a lot of the things that I picked up from doing this illustration. One is I really enjoy doing this Sonic-esque style, the rubber hose style that kind of comes from Disney or Felix the Cat and whatnot. I think I'm going to be applying it more to my kind of lower level characters within my Cyber Fate project. And yeah, ultimately I learned a lot. Looks rad. Also, if you are looking for commissions, hop onto my Instagram. I do Tamer Rookie specials, just designing customs for people. So if that's your cup of tea, that's what you're looking for, I got my Instagram, my Patreon, and my YouTube where you can message me up, fill out a commission form, or just say, hey, this is what I want. As always, thanks for the support. Peace out.